fans, welcome to the Car Connection Workshop. Yes, it's late afternoon. We're getting back into it. Got a bunch of jobs, new stuff on the go on the 97 TJ Wrangler Sport Rescue. Horns are in, and then I discovered we don't have horns, so they're not working, so we got a circuit issue there to chase down. No wipers. So I'm going to show you how to diagnose. I had to take the cowling off to get the windshield and the frame out. So it's a perfect opportunity to get in here and vacuum it out as well. And it had a lot of material in here. And I also, for another reason to get in here, you got to take the cowling off to get the windshield frame out anyway. So I didn't spend any time chasing down why the wipers weren't working, because I knew I would be getting in here when we got to this phase of the project. So without any further ado, you know, you discover stuff as you get into stuff, and the window frame is out. Somebody must have been working on the dash before, or the cluster, instrument cluster. This screw's loose. That one's not even in. This one's partly in. There's screws missing, one here and one here. So, hey, we'll finish the job for you, whoever that was. So I'm going to show you how to test the wiper motor, and I've got everything set up here. I've got to wash. Well, I want to wash this out completely. There's areas where I need to put some caulking, and we'll talk about that when we talk about the windshield and the frame and the leakage on the driver's side that caused damage to the floor. And we'll talk about that. Okay, so here's the plug. Here's the motor. So instead of trying to poke through the back, don't do that, fellettes. Do not poke wiring. Don't poke the casing. Don't poke from the back, and don't be poking from the front either. I'm going to show you how to do it safely. I prefer to use a voltmeter, but many of you may not have one. A DVOM, digital volt and ohm meter, a fluke meter, that's what I use. So I'm going to teach you on the test light. So what I've done is I have the other end of the test light, if you want to show them there, Skippy, is attached to the negative terminal directly on my battery, so that I know I've got a positive ground, so that I've got a good solid ground. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to reach in, because the windshield's so clean you can't even tell that it's in anymore. So I'm going to reach in, turn the ignition on. Ignition's on. I hear you. So I use these back probes. You can also, if you don't have a... Yes. May I help you? I'm busy right now. Can you book them an appointment and I'll see them another day? Thank you very much. All right, so these are probes. Very, very thin. Won't damage any circuitry, and I can just poke that in there very gently and not. This is where I'm seeing lots of problems, and if you go back and watch the videos of Vanna White, I ran into a lot of electrical problems where guys poked wires, opened the casings, green mambies get in there, we got corrosion, we got terminals that no longer have power. So you could also use a paper clip, a metal paper clip, but don't ram it right in there. You just need it in there a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. All right, so power's on, and what I want to do is, this is the harness going to the vehicle inside, right to the switch. So the ignition's on. I'm turning my wipers on. That should be full. It's all the way up. We check and see we have power. Well, we definitely have power there. Definitely power there. And I'm just going to poke through, and we got our power there. Okay, so that means I got power on this corner, power on this corner. I'm going to go down to low and see where else I have power, and that's my low signal. So I have power here on high, power here on high, and on low, and there's my low signal. How do I know that? Watch, it'll be gone when I turn that off. and it's gone. So what do I know? Well, I know how to make pies and muffins. So I'm just going to come over to the other side for just a second. Now I'm going to move my alligator clamp from my test light. And again, I like to use a DVOM, but not everybody has one. I'm going to the positive side now. Why? I want to check my grounds in that plug. Now, I don't have to have the key on for that, so I'm going to turn that off. So now I can see where my grounds are. There's one. That is my ground. That might be a ground. So let's just turn that on and see if it toggles it. It may toggle that a ground, and it doesn't. So there's my ground. I have 1, 2, 3 lives, and we're good. All right, so what I know now is I have a complete circuit. So when I plug this in, if that is true, then this should run. Turn the key back on. Nothing's moving. On high, nothing's moving on low. We got a pump that's stuck. So here's what you can try, but I always say this. You can try it, but it doesn't necessarily mean if you get the thing to work that next time it stops, it's going to work again. We don't know that. That's the problem. So if you get it to run, do you want to have the whole cowl back in and it stops and then it's not working and then you got to take it all apart? So definitely not working. So we've got our grounds, we got our lives, and turn the key back, turn the switch off, turn the key off, and I say always do that. Turn the switch off, turn the key off when you're working on wiper motors, because you can very easily get your fingers trapped in this. This is a seesaw, and you can do some damage. You can do some damage. So it's 3 bolts. I'm going to unbolt it. I have another one here. We're going to bolt it in real quick. Then we're going to test it. Then we'll know that we're good. And I know this motor works because I tested it already. So I got this with all the parts that I harvested from the 2006. So it's 10 millimeters, I think. I even took the hardware, because when I harvest, I take containers and I gather the hardware. And I make sure that I mark what's gone into the container. So this is okay now. We can just set that aside. I need to undo 3 bolts. So we'll get a tool. We'll get a tool and we'll change that out. It's not that one. So one thing I've learned about Jeeps, they're metric and they're standard, all at the same time. So things that you think are metric are standard, and the things that you think are standard are metric. So we have 3 bolts to take out. We got one here, one on the other side. We'll have this out in a minute. We'll just show you that once you've done the diag, and you know that that's the case, you got your ground circuits, you got your supply circuit, then you should be good to go. Now keep in mind, this is 1997, and this is the original motor, wiper motor, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a little tight. Just take it easy, don't snap it off. Notice I'm doing it with hand tools for 2 reasons. Number 1, show you can do it. Number 2, we're going to put a little sauce on that one. So let me grab my sauce. Just put a little sauce on there and we'll just crank that in. If you just get on that with air tools or an impact, a battery powered impact gun, you will snap it off. then you know what? You have a big problem that you could have avoided. That's why undoing stuff by hand is not a bad idea at all. I do it all the time because you know why? When you have to spend time drilling a bolt out, retapping it, that's time that you could have avoided. So we'll just let that sauce get in there. We'll take care of this one. This one might be just as tight. I just put some sauce on it. Because you put the impact on there, it's only a small bolt. It's not very big. You will snap them off, and now you got a project. So don't. So you can see I've applied lubrication to these studs because that holds the dash in, and I won't need those brackets. So the reason I'm changing it twofold, it is so full of dust and dirt in there. This thing must have been in the desert, I don't know, but everything is so full of dirt. The dash is just a mess in behind there, but we're going to put a fresh one in. You'll see that in a few minutes, just how good it is. So when they told me I could have all the interior if I took it out for free, I was like, yeah. So all the interior that's going in is in really good shape. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll look really good when we're done. Everything will be working. So not too bad. We got this, all the electrics going. All the lights are done, front and back. These are the last two items. Horns, which is easy. I got to take the steering wheel off to take the whole dash out, and you'll see that in another video. And I did all this work in the wrecking yard in scorching heat, and I mean it was really hot. In fact, the wrecking yard guys sent a fella around to check on me. I was in the yard 8 hours, and I harvested. I had to go back for a second to do the interior. And he said, you take it out, you can have it. And it had a soft top on it, and they said, you take it off, you can have it. It's only going to go in the junk anyway. So do you see what I just did there? If you're putting the impact on there, you've already busted this off and you got a project. And let the liquid get in behind it, work it back in. You're actually saving yourself a lot of time doing this because you're going to be drilling for a while, and you better drill straight and you better be able to tap it right in order to put this wiper transmission and wiper motor all back together. See, it's getting easy now. We should be able to come all the way out safely without causing more work. That's how I do it, folks. If you're trying to save time, you snap that bolt off, you've just lost any time you thought you were going to save. And when you can feel the bolt by hand, you can't feel it on an impact driver or on an air gun. You can't feel it. So see, the corrosion free got right down to the bottom of the threads. That's why I love that stuff. I'd put it on toast. Not really. I think marmalade's more in line. Okay, so what I do need is I don't have a shop towel in my pocket. That's why things don't go well. Always make sure you have a rag. Okay, so this is ready to come out right now. So you should be able to just grab that like G.I. Joe, and it's out of there. So I'll clean all this out afterwards, but I just want to show you this is how you do it. And then I'll take the wiper motor back out, clean under here, wash this all out nice, and then we'll talk about that a bit, what I'm going to do there, how I prep this area. Because we got some rusties, I've scraped it all off, I've cleaned everything, everything's prepped where you want it in order before the windshield goes back in. We got some stuff to do. This is what this is here. If this is plugged, this is the drain. This area was just full of leaves and it looked like there was a nest there. I had the rest of the reservoir off inside the back of the engine bay and cleaned everything out. It was full of bees' nests. If this isn't clear, then the water will build up in here and it'll come up over here and go right into the heater box. And what this is for is if the vehicle has air conditioning. This one doesn't have air, but the water level can come up high enough to go over, splash over the top and soak the floor on the passenger side completely. And I still got some stuff in here, some debris. See, it was all leaves just packed in there. So I will blow this out that way and then continue to vacuum it. But you want to make sure that this is fully cleaned out and that your drain is clear. So whatever model you're working on, and it has a cowling, it has a drain somewhere underneath that cowling. You got to make sure that's clear. And I dug out all the old caulking that was in here. It was breaking away. So when I wash this all out, I will paint it with some POR, which is paint over rust. It's one of my favorite tools, I call it, because it will create a membrane and it will seal. No, they don't sponsor the videos, but I use this stuff like crazy. So I will paint all the rust all the way from here. These hinges are coming out. I have the replacement hinges. So I will paint all across there with POR. I will come down the seams and do pretty much the whole bottom. Wherever there is a panel is a water access place. So the POR will flow right into it and it will seal it off. And then as a secondary, because if you show them, Skippy, right in here where my finger is, I can see the same hole on your side. So this was body caulking, seam sealer from the factory, and I peeled it out. Every piece, make sure if it's loose, get it out and reseal it. So I'll POR everything. Then I'll apply some more body sealer here and on the other side and some around here to make sure that no matter what, I don't have any entrance point for water getting into the cab under the carpet. So this is what I use, POR. You can check that out online. I found the best deal was you get a whole box full of these small cans, and this does a lot of square footage. So I got to do the floor in Mr. Green Jeans with that because there's areas, again, that need to be sealed off. So I do the POR, paint over rust first, then I apply body caulking. If you want to paint on that body caulking seam sealer, it's paintable, so you can paint it. I usually use black, so that's not a problem. All right, let's slam this other wiper motor in from the 2006 TJ Wrangler and see if we have diagnosed it properly. Like I said, I already tested this to make sure I'm not putting a dead one in. But, you know, if you saw the rig, I took the parts off. Incredible that the thing was in the junkyard. And I'm thinking today I should have bought the whole thing because the frame, everything was really good shape. It wasn't smashed. It was not smashed. Motor, tranny, everything was all, every transmission, everything was there. So I brought as much as I could home. That's what I decided to do. All right, so let's fasten this in. I just put some corrosion free into the pockets for the bolts. Get one started if you can, right there. And really watch your fingers, because I'll pull this back out and I will lubricate the pivots. I'll pop them off. They're pressure fit. I'll pop them off and I'll put some lube in there so that, you know what, when I close this up, guess what? It's going to work 100% for quite a while. So we're just going to get this puppy going. And that will, this wiper motor works and the circuit's tested right, then guess what? We got wipers. That fixes that problem. We just got to take care of the, whoa! Who's pulling my chair out? Next. This table's already taken. Yeah, so I got a little more prep work to do here, but that's how you do it, fellas. Go through it. POR, you can just scrape off the loose product. It'll seal that right off indefinitely. I always do the floors in vehicles if we're doing a restoration or a rescue. paint the floors with the POR, seals every nook and cranny off. I did that in the in restoration, the Corvette. We'll have a look at that sometime. It's ready for the interior to go back in. And Corvettes they're kind of rough. So I POR'd it, and I will also do sound deadening material because they're kind of a noisy car. I want it to be really quiet. Okay, we're in. So now, let's plug it in. Look, if you take my stool away from me one more time, we're having words. Okay, so let's plug it in. The right way? I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to work. There we go. All right, now keep your fingers out of the way because you'll see in a minute how this swings. It's called a wiper transmission. And I will say this, we'll talk about it in another video. Winter is coming. If you're one of these people, you don't like getting out of the car when it's raining in the winter and the temperatures drop overnight, and the next person that climbs in the car, maybe you, and the wipers are still on, now they're frozen to the windshield, this is what breaks. It usually tends to sound like this. Bam! And then the wipers don't work. It's either these have broken, the wiper pivots, or the wiper arm itself. If you're lucky, it's just the wiper arm. But on this one, you can't service the pivots, so you got to change the whole thing. And on a lot of these, you're paying for the motor, even if the motor still works on your old one. It comes as a unit. Turn the wipers off. Get in a habit of doing this. When you shut the car down, you shut it down like an airplane, a pilot does. When they get into the hangar or into their parking spot, they turn everything off. Get in that habit. Blower off, wipers off, everything, radio. Shut the craft down. And then this won't be you because it happens all the time. Well, I thought I shut them off. No, you didn't, because you do it all the time. I see it. All right, let's turn the key on. Boy, this windshield is so clean, you can hardly even tell it's here. Get ready. How sweet is that? And that's how you diagnose, and that's how you do the job right. So I will take this back out, finish my project here, getting ready to put the windshield. I got a complete windshield and encasement off that same 2006 from Houston, Texas, and I couldn't have asked for a better donor vehicle because the windshield's doesn't even have a chip. The frame is in perfect shape. So we're going to cover that in just a minute, so stay with us as we really move into high gear with our 97 TJ Rescue, because the mechanicals are done. I needed the gas tank in so we can run it and move it around. So even though the windshield's out, we're going to be able to drive it in and out and bring something else in and work on it for the day, and then bring the Jeep back in at the end of the day and keep moving forward, because Vanna White has to come back and have all the front end parts put in. No pressure, but I think I'm going to need some counseling on that one. No pressure. So we got lots of stuff on the go. We got a 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK coming in. It needs a valve cover gasket on the 3.6 Pentastar on the passenger side. It's just puking, and that's quite a job. You'll see that on the video. That's about an 8-hour shift to get that done. So we're moving along here, and yeah, let me look at my list. I don't want to miss anything for you. I got a Tuesday list. Yeah, what's happening? We covered that. Under the hood, yeah, we just got to fix the circuit, but I'll fix the circuit. I believe it's in the horn button on the steering wheel. Steering wheel has to come off to get the dash out. How do I know that? Because I took this out of that 2006, and look at it. It's not rusted anywhere. I just got to clean it down, and we're ready to put it in. This is broken, but I can fix that. I'll glue it, and then I will use my soldering iron. I'll show you that on a video, how I fix this. So instead of just gluing it, I will reinforce it from the back, and it won't break again in that place. Okay, so we got horns and wipers. We got the wipers going. Great job. That's how you're going to do that. All right, we'll see you in the next one. We're going to talk about removing and replacing the dash completely from left to right on this TJ. I've done it before on many other vehicles, but I can't wait to see what it looks like when we're done. All the interior changing over to, it's called slate black. It looks black, but it's actually a form of gray. I don't know, but it looks good when it's cleaned up. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and follow on Facebook at Niall Motormouth Jenkins. Check us out on Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. Click on the businesses tab. You'll find us there. In amongst all the local businesses, one of my favorite eateries in Stevensville, Scuttlebutts. You got to check them out. Make sure you let them know that Car Connection sent you. Yeah, I've never had a bad meal there. Not one time. In many years, it's my favorite place. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and drop your comments down below on these videos. It encourages us. And number two, it makes the algorithms happy, and it puts us further out there to reach more and more people. Subscribe, watch the videos, ring the bell, and help us all out on YouTube. So for all your YouTube online influencers, do the same thing. It's free. It helps us reach more people. Get your Car Connection merch and show it off. We'll see you in the next one. Happy motoring. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you enjoyed the video, like I know you did, ring the notification bell.